Machines has now officially become part of the Datamax family. You'll continue to see the same local support teams you know and trust, plus industry-leading Kyocera copiers with statewide service and expanded IT, phone, and document solutions. Together, we're stronger, and together we're ready to create a raving fan out of your business. I know my dad and our staff are excited about this new chapter, as it takes our capabilities to a whole new level. For you, learn more at datamaxarkansas.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today. A high this afternoon will be into the upper 70s. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, and overnight low will drop down into the upper 50s. Saturday, sunshine, upper 70s, and then Sunday, mixture clouds and sunshine. Highs on Sunday will be right around the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. This is ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal? I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
To Baton Rouge I guess about 3 hours or so from right now. I am Phil Elson at the Regional Jet Center at XNA Airport, meeting the team to go to LSU later today. Matt Jones and Christian Johnston at our ESPN Arkansas studios. I wish I was with you guys again, just like I was yesterday. There's nothing like standing in the room with you, Matt, but I do notice that when I'm not in the room with you, you sit. But if I'm in the room with you, you're standing, because that's what I'm doing too. Maybe at some point the next time we're in the studio together, which will be next week, we'll sit at the same time, at least 6 feet apart, though.
Hey, happy Friday, safe travels. Yeah, man, I just try to match your energy. That's it.
It's tough to do.
Yeah.
It's tough to do, man. The energy was lacking in women's basketball last night. It was, you could tell from the start, just it's kind of funny. I was talking with Matt Zimmerman before the game, and Southeastern Louisiana, Zim was on the TV broadcast last night, Matt. Southeastern Louisiana, I think the score was 61-6 at halftime in their last game against LSU, and they gave up 115 points. We've seen Arkansas score over 100 in their first game, or it was their second game against UAPB. And so Zim is pointing out, hey, this is the most points Arkansas has ever scored in a game. This is the number of times they've crossed 100. This is the 10th most they've scored in a game, and they end up scratching out just 68 points in a game that it's funny. I heard Ruskin and Zach driving around yesterday, and they've got a soundbite from White Men Can't Jump. That's one of my favorite movies from the 90s. You know that movie, right, Matt? You know that one well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's the scene where Rosie Perez's character is in the hotel room with Woody Harrelson and explaining to him about sometimes when you win, you really lose. And sometimes when you lose, you really win. And sometimes if you win or you lose, you really tie. And it hit me. That was in my mind when I'm sitting there doing post-game last night, and Coach never came out for a win to talk about the win. I didn't get a chance to talk with the coach or the player of the game, and usually the only time that ever happens is after a loss. So I walked out yesterday. Yeah, they are 4-0, but I don't think they walked out of the building yesterday, Matt, feeling like they won a game, because Coach went longer in the locker room than I went on the radio show on post game. So that was quite a while.
Yeah, I've been around that a little bit. My dad being a coach for 30 plus years, I guess there's a way you handle certain situations and an expectation. Sometimes you see the teams just going through the motions because you don't have to give your best effort to win, and that'll get you beat later on. So I totally get it. You're striving to do something special and to be the best versions of yourself, and that means you can't just give C+. Just because C+ effort can win the game, that doesn't mean that's what you're supposed to do to win the game. Coaches get fired up over that.
I forget the game that LSU won, and Brian Kelly called the reporters, and I don't remember if he really was referring to the fan base or just the reporter that asked the question and the reporters that were in the room, because it felt like he was talking about the reporters, but I know the fans thought he was talking about them. That they're spoiled, and they were having trouble with their offense, trouble with their running game. The defense played well, and one of the first questions is about an inability to run the ball, and Kelly starts going off about these guys just busted their butt to win an SEC game and all of that, and that's gotten just as much airplay as the me and my family thing, and that's a game that they won but didn't have their best effort, I felt that a little bit last night. There's certain standards you set, and a win is a win, and sometimes you feel lucky to win, right? I think that's how Coach felt yesterday. But that was one of the last games that LSU even won. So, we get this interim bowl going on tomorrow, Matt, at I can't call it Death Valley when you've lost 3 games in a row. So just call it Tiger Stadium. But it's also 2 teams that haven't won a game in a while. You're going to week 2 since Arkansas last won a game. It's been a month since LSU last won a game too. And you've kind of been stuck in this string of playing teams on losing streaks. What, did Auburn have 4 losses in a row before they came in and won? Mississippi State had lost, was it 16 straight SEC games before they came into Razorback Stadium and won? It's time for the Hogs to be the team that ends a losing streak. I'd love to see that tomorrow.
Man, wouldn't we? Christmas come early. Bobby Petrino finds a way to win. That's one miracle. He'll be 2 miracles short of being called Saint Bobby. So we'll see if we can't see a miracle tomorrow morning.
I want to convince myself by the time I'm off the air today, and I'll get off a little bit early because I've got to go through security and get on the plane, that they're going to win. And I've done this before on a Friday where I kind of work myself into kind of not paying attention to the other 4 days of the week when I continue to preach. I'll believe that they win a game when I see it, and the idea of, the plays you've got to make, and it's right there in front of you. It might be a little bit difficult if I'm looking at it as a miracle, though, too. It shouldn't be a miracle to be able to go beat a team that right now can't figure out a way to score more than 25 points in a game. That's one of the crazy things I think about here, Matt, because I think of it, LSU should always have a high-flying offense, and there's nothing high-flying about their offense here. But then again, man, Auburn seemed to have an ability to run the ball against Arkansas. Mississippi State's offense looked a lot better than I thought they were going to. And this Arkansas, if you look at the miracle aspect of it, I guess it'd be a miracle if the Arkansas defense were to hold LSU under 30 or anybody under 30 right now, because that may take what that may be what it's going to take for a win. The thing is that if a win happens tomorrow, does the conversation about who the coach is going to be change moving forward? That to me is now what these games are about. I want to watch a win. People will be happier if Arkansas wins a football game around the state. But it also, maybe it changes the conversation about who the next coach is going to be, because that's the only way that Bobby Petrino is going to be the head coach moving forward, is if you find a way to win some football games, over these next 3 weeks.
Well, Texas and Missouri are still trying. That's for sure. You had a bye week. We saw what Bobby Petrino was able to do with the bye week to get ready for A&M, and how close that was. I would say this, Phil, and I don't know what's going to happen Saturday. But this is the Hogs' best chance to win a game. I think. As far as LSU, Texas is still playing we'll see. Texas could knock themselves out. They lose this week. You'll get them next week. Maybe they kind of quit too. Missouri, the same thing. So there's a lot of golf left for those two teams. But, yeah, if LSU feels like playing, if they show up and those kids want to play, then there's nothing we can do about it. But maybe they're kids. Maybe they're inconsistent. Maybe they don't they're not really in the mood at noon on Saturday when the season's over. So maybe you're hoping for a little bit of that.
I show up today thinking to myself, you're going to see everything that we've seen, with the exception of the Notre Dame game. You're going to see a game that looks like it's well within the grasp of the Razorbacks, or at least a shot to pull off a win on the road. Maybe you'll have the ball last, and it's a 2 or 3 point or 4 point game, and you're driving, and something disastrous happens. Something, anything. I mean, whether it's a fumble or whether it's missing three missed tackles to allow a game-winning touchdown to a team that had lost 16 straight SEC games, and those 3 tackles basically happened, on the exact same play. It's that kind of stuff. That's what I want to. I want to get out of Tiger Stadium tomorrow thinking, wow, that was really cool to see them pull off the play that they haven't been able to make, and watch LSU just continue to spiral. I mean, they're in the same position as Arkansas is, at least now, looking for I think it's a different situation because I don't think there's anybody around their fan base that's, calling for the interim coach to be the head coach. And they, I guess they represented themselves well enough against Alabama, just not the way that they usually would want to. Anyway, I'm also at the point here, Matt, where it's not like I'm not counting down to the end of the football season. I'm enjoying this football season because these games have been they've been entertaining, if not gut-wrenching, to the very end. What I want is something concrete, something we can grasp, something that we know, something that's not a guess, and something that doesn't feel like, if you're not in on the inner circle of any of this and have real sources or just throwing out guesses here and there, it really feels like if you're just a fan and you're reading stories here and there and you're reading on message boards and you're looking on social media, that you're having your freaking emotions played with. And I'm a little tired of it too. So that's what I'd like to get to the end of. Whomever the coach is going to be, let's get in that time machine and just turn it to once the Missouri game's over, and then sometime in the next 2 or 3 days after, the next era of Arkansas football can and will begin.
Yeah, I've enjoyed 0% of this football season. I mean, Taylor Green's fun to watch. We got a couple players, but this season's stupid. This is not a fun season in any shape or form. It's like when you're driving down the road and you look to the left and you see a big burn pile, how they're burning all the land over there so it can come back. That's what this season is. Set it on fire, and hopefully it comes back better next year. But there's nothing. There's not one single thing to hold. Yeah, Quincy Rose is good. Taylor Green's good. Mike Washington's good. Omega Blake's good. Rohan, our tight end's good. Like, you got a couple guys, you're like, hey, man, I like what – there's nothing fun about going 0-8 in the SEC. I don't know. It's the worst.
877-377-6963 as we get through the show on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Aaron Torres will join us right after this break. Stay with us. It's halftime.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Go all in on luxury with Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Luxe Cravings boxes. There's the $5 box, indulgent. The $7 box, extravagant. And the $9 box, indescribable with the new Steak and Poblano Rolled Quesadilla. It's luxe for less. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Luxe Cravings box, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Bad girl. Careless with a delicate man. That world. Break a board just because you can. Don't tell me to deny.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Aaron Torres is on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline here on a Friday morning. Morning, AT. Happy coaching search week 3 million, feels like. How you been?
Yeah, I don't have to cover it on a day-to-day basis like you guys, but yeah, I'm well. It's a crazy time. I mean, the three of us talk about it every year, but when the sports overlap, and I think obviously, from the football perspective, there's so much going on off the field where it feels like it doesn't feel like there's basically there's the news cycle that involves the games that are played, and then there's the news cycle that involves Arkansas and Florida and Penn State and what is going to happen at LSU and what about this recruit that's going to flip. It's a crazy world. And oh, by the way, we have basketball, as I said. So it's a fun time of year. It's a busy time of year. But, we say it every week. I wouldn't trade this. I wouldn't trade what we're doing now for, June 29th when there's absolutely nothing to talk about.
Hey, Aaron, I want to ask you a little bit of a couple football questions as we get going. The big game that I think concerns more SEC and Big Ten is the Notre Dame at Pitt game, where if Pittsburgh can find a way to win that game, which I think they have a better shot than the 12.5-point spread. Notre Dame's knocked out, but who do you think that helps more, I guess, is my question, Aaron. Does that help get an SEC team into the playoff 12 or another Big Ten team in the playoff 12?
First of all, I think it's a great point. I think we've just defaulted a 10-2 Notre Dame into the playoff, or at minimum, a 10-2 versus a 10-2 Miami. And this is probably the toughest game left on Notre Dame's schedule. So I think it's a great point by you, Matt. I will say this. I think the two big SEC games, not only are they great on paper, great kind of helmet games, history, Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia, but then you talk about the playoff committee having a tough road to hoe. Like if Texas and Oklahoma both win this weekend, or even if one of the two does, I think it largely throws the entire playoff conversation into an absolute tizzy. And I think even as specifically if Texas were to lose and then bounce back and beat A&M, like the point I'm trying to make is that, I don't remember all of the conversation from last year, but it just feels like specifically in the SEC, there's a lot of really good teams at the top. Unfortunately for Arkansas fans, there's a lot of really bad teams at the bottom, and there's not really a middle this year. And oh, by the way, once we get past this weekend, there really aren't a lot of games, kind of with head-to-head implications outside of Texas and Texas A&M, excuse me. And so, if we get through this weekend with, say, an Oklahoma and a Texas win, you're looking at really about 6-7 teams at the top of the standings with pretty indistinguishable resumes, and it would be fascinating to see what would happen from there. But I think to your point, Matt, a lot of this would be cleaned up with a hypothetical Pitt win over Notre Dame.
Aaron, I say this with the proper respect because you're somebody that's got his own YouTube channel and you're very online. You have to be. But when you're online as much as you are, and I am to a certain degree, there are all these accounts out there that are troll accounts, goodness. And some of them are really good at doing the trolling of throwing out something that sounds like it is just crazy enough that you can believe it. So I think it's this account named Scott Hughes, and he put this little thing out there.
What is he up to today? I've seen a couple of his pieces of work.
This one was hilarious, and I had to look at it and think, maybe this is a world that we'll live in at some point soon. It was Greg Sankey making a case to have 8 SEC teams in the college football playoff, and that sounds ridiculous, right? That's half the league, but you could legitimately see, because that's basically almost you get about the same thing in March Madness, more so than March Madness. I could actually see a world at some point where Sankey is trying to push that narrative.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I actually had the now legendary Scott Hughes. Somebody sent me one of his texts. And I will tell you, I am very online, maybe too much so. It's funny, I've started using the For You tab on social media because it really does. I think it's an important tool for catching up on teams or stories that maybe I don't know a lot about. But one, it shows you just a lot of people are angry all the time about everything and maybe a little too emotional online. But then two, you don't know what's real and what's not. And man, there was a story about 4 or 5 days ago. I can't remember what it was, but I did, and I'm pretty careful if I'm sharing other people's information, like even last night, and I don't mean to be negative about this, but I had been told that there was a BYU basketball player that could have potentially been arrested, and the news broke, and you're reading, you're making sure that there's multiple reports out there. that, you know, the reports that are out there are credible. And it is a crazy world. I don't know, where I'm even going with this, but as far as the Greg Sankey stuff is concerned, that one, that one was just believable enough where I think I did see that before it became obvious that it was a troll. And I was like, this feels like something that someone could have said. And then, oh, by the way, if Greg Sankey himself didn't say it, I could see a world where Paul Feinbaum said it or somebody from SEC Network said it. So, it's a crazy new world. And like you said, Phil, it's the gift and the curse of what we do. We love what we do. We wouldn't trade it for anything. But it also means that, we got to deal with a lot of craziness on social media. So,
but also, I mean, from outside the state, from that perspective, it feels like nationally, Arkansas football, for this coaching search specifically, just for the last few days, with all of the, just very odd statements that people are putting out there that are making it seem like Arkansas is about to take some giant swing at, digging up Vince Lombardi or something like that. And it just feels like the whole fan base is being trolled. Like it's a joke to those on the outside that are also very online and are having fun with this.
Yeah, and I think that, to me, I think a couple things. One, you obviously have to be careful who you follow and who you trust. But I think, as importantly, I think we got to use a lot of common sense, right? So, I said this on my show today because people, I think probably the name that, at least earlier in the week, that was fairly or unfairly being linked to Arkansas was James Franklin. And so I talked about it on my show yesterday. I said, look, is there a possibility that James Franklin loves Arkansas and Arkansas loves James Franklin? Absolutely. But someone like, first of all, anybody who has a job right now almost certainly is not agreeing to anything. It's like, and that applies to Florida with Lane Kiffin. It applies all the way on down. So whoever the dream candidate is for an Arkansas fan that currently has a job, if that's Alex Golesh, if that's whoever, there's not going to be anything until the season is over. Okay, so that's one. But then two, even with somebody like James Franklin, like, let's work under the hypothetical that he loves Arkansas and Arkansas loves him. There's no reason for him to take the job now because he doesn't know what is going to become available or what's even going to be available in a week or two, And so I said this on my show today is I think, let's just use James Franklin. I think he's a candidate for every job possibly that could open except for two. Penn State is one, and wherever Lane Kiffin ends up is two. Like, if Florida gets Lane Kiffin, then he's obviously – Florida's not going to choose James Franklin over Lane Kiffin. But all of a sudden, he becomes a candidate at Ole Miss. What if Florida doesn't get Lane Kiffin? I think James Franklin becomes a candidate at Florida. What if Florida State, the day after the season, decides to move on from Mike Norvell? He becomes a candidate there. And so someone, this is no different than anyone in life with options is, someone with options isn't going to rush into everything until they know what all of their options are. And so, I know this isn't a James Franklin conversation even, but I just think, we got to use a little common sense with this. I know it's not only Arkansas fans, it's LSU fans, it's Penn State fans. Everybody wants to know who's next and what's going to happen. But I just think, you got to wait 2 more weeks because I just don't think most any of this is going to get finalized until the regular season ends here in a couple weeks.
We'll finish with basketball here. You got Arkansas Samford tonight. We're all obviously, looking ahead a little bit to the Duke game on Thanksgiving. Alabama lost last night to Purdue. I know they probably have the biggest win for an SEC team right now that was over St. John's. But it looks like, at least in the first couple of weeks, SEC's taken some lumps against, bigger name programs. They're beating the teams that they should beat. But I'm not – do you think the SEC is going to be as strong this year as they were last year? Because the first couple of weeks, it's a few more losses than I remember than last season.
No, I remember having the conversation last year, and I remember having the conversation in December where it was like – we were getting to the end of out-of-conference play, and everybody was 12-1, 13-0, 11-2. And so, no, it's not going to be as good because literally it was the best conference in the history of college basketball last year. And it's funny because I remember even when the selection, when they put together the bracket and there's 14 SEC teams, everyone's, it's insane. And it's like, well, look at who they beat out of conference. And you guys know, like, I'm not some SEC homer. Like, I think some of the football discourse is ridiculous. But basketball last year was absolutely, unequivocally the best conference, not only last year, but pretty much in the history of college basketball. And it was justified with the regular season, or with the out-of-conference part of the regular season, excuse me. And so this year it's just going to be interesting. You know, certainly next week Kentucky plays Michigan State. We know what Arkansas has ahead for them. You know, Alabama, you know, no rest for the weary. They play Illinois this week in Chicago. Then they go out to Vegas for the Players Era tournament, which is that big event where they'll play Gonzaga and a bunch of other teams. So to answer your question, Phil, there's no way, it's just not possible for that league, for any league, to be as good as the SEC was last year. But, you know, I don't know, because Alabama lost to the preseason #1 team, or because Kentucky lost on the road, or because Arkansas lost on the road, that it means that it's time to throw in the towel for the entire league either.
AT, always appreciate your time. Thanks a lot. We'll visit again next week.
All right, fellas, have a great afternoon. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Aaron Torres, host of the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast, owner of Aaron Torres Media. You can also hear him on Fox Sports Radio. I want to remind you about Walker Brothers in Fayetteville and Rogers. True style is never accidental, and you will find intentional, refined, and unmistakable style at Walker Brothers in Fayetteville and Rogers, and at Bowman's in Little Rock. They have all the big names you're thinking of: Grayson, Curly Tail, Johnny O, Peter Millar, Sunday Red, Roback, all in Northwest Arkansas. You don't have to order online and wait. You can just walk right in. Walker Brothers in Fayetteville or Rogers, try it on. Walk out ready to call the Hogs with sharp polos, lightweight vests, and performance hoodies. Perfect for this time of the year. And here's what sets Walker Brothers apart. After the game and it's time to get out, they still got you covered with Filson, Barbour, Steo, Zegna, and Faraday pieces for cooler weather and rugged comfort and refined style. Walker Brothers in Fayetteville and Rogers, Bowman's in Little Rock. So where Razorback fans shop to look their best. Your life, your style, your store. Lewis Automotive Group hotline open for you here, 877-377-6963. Halftime returns after the break. Forcer right, pulls up before the second defender gets there. Swish. 21 for Talea Jones.
This is halftime.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Is your business's IT infrastructure secure? At Dixie Digital, we provide comprehensive managed IT services to ensure your systems are running smoothly and your data is protected. Combine that with Xerox, Brother, and Epson reliable printers and copiers, and you've got everything you need for success. Call us today at 783-6600 to learn more about our IT services and special offers. Dixie Digital Imaging, your trusted partner for IT and document management.
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
The first thing I'd do if I became a millionaire is, call my mom.
I would buy my mother a Maserati.
I definitely would buy a jet. Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Hey, this is Nick from Platinum Distributing. You've probably heard my cousin RD on here from time to time. What a bum.
Friggin' bum!
I'm kidding. He's a good guy. I'll tell you what else is good. Cheerwine. The cherry-flavored soda has had people coming back since 1917. Did you know Cheerwine is now available in the River Valley? You'll find it at your local Jam Mart, Walmart, and other fine stores. Cheerwine coming to Arkansas is all thanks to our big dog Terry right here at Platinum Distributing.
Big dog.
Think of him when you're sipping that one-of-a-kind cherry-flavored soft drink. Cheerwine. Uniquely Southern since 1917.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You walked into the party like you were walking to a yacht. Your hat strategically dipped below one eye. Your scarlet was apricot. You had one eye in the mirror as you watched yourself depart. And all the girls dreamed that they'd be your partner. They'd be your partner.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
And there's all kinds of people on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. They're trying to do their part to make sure that the Bud Walton Arena looks like Bud Walton Arena today, Matt. It's the thing when you've got these home games against Samford and against whomever's coming up before the Duke game is that so much of the story is what the crowd looks like or doesn't look like. And so everybody's trying to DM me and I can make sure that your tickets will be used and everything. And I just wonder how many people that buy tickets, or like you point out, I think you're right about this in a lot of cases, their company buys tickets for them, actually put the effort into making sure that somebody uses those seats. I don't really think a lot of people do, truthfully.
Probably less people than to try to gain that $20 YouTube credit.
and it probably takes fewer steps to actually DM your to find a way to transfer your ticket. So I think all you do is you go into your Razorback app, you go to where your tickets are, you push the transfer button, and then you put in the person's name and phone number or email address, either one of those two, and then boom, that's it. It just takes the effort to actually get somebody to find somebody who wants them, and we'll go to the game. So, we're going to go play Samford today. Samford was a tournament team, I think, last year. New coach, Bucky McMillan was the guy last season. What is it you want to see tonight? Because I think what do you want to see against UCA? Did you see what you wanted to see against UCA? Do you want to see something different today? Like, do you want to see a little more maybe production out of Malik Ewing? Is there something that you want to see tonight, Matt?
Yeah, I like Ewing. He's the kid from Florida State. I think he's only going to get better. The first 10 games, this is factual. This is truth in football. Week 1 through week 3, that's when you make your most improvement. In basketball, it's about the first 10 games. Let's just keep getting to know each other, keep learning trust, keep putting funds in the bank, keep learning concepts. What are we trying to do on defense? Are we sending them baseline, or are we sending them back into the middle to help? What are we trying to do? What is our mantra? What is our identity? That's all you're trying to see. The talent is there. I mean, the talent, there's no question. You can't say that this Arkansas team isn't one of the most talented teams in the history of Arkansas program. I mean, especially the talent is just as it's probably more talented than the Anthony Black team. And that team, I mean, that had talent for days. This team is deep. They're long. Just the maturity process. You're just looking for little things like that. There's nothing big. It's attention to detail you're looking for. Are they playing with a smile on their face? Do they like to make the extra pass? I haven't seen that yet. So now we saw Wagner do it, but I'm talking about the last couple years. Man, it always seemed like we would make the extra pass. This year, those guards, they get a little trigger happy, and that they're used to it. I mean, when's the last time they've heard the word no in high school? Never. They've been the best player on their team for 4 years. So now they're here. They're figuring things out. Make the extra pass. Get the easier wide open shot. Trust your teammate. Just little stuff like that. It's nothing. You're not looking for anything big.
I want to see them defend to the rebound. Not defend to the end of the shot. Defend to when Arkansas has the rebound. And it's, they struggled to rebound against Michigan State. That does make me think that you could struggle against some of the bigger teams in the SEC on the offensive glass, on their offensive glass. So, it's like you want to see big numbers, plus 20, plus 23 in rebounds against a program like Samford. That's something that I'd be paying attention to. And not so many three-pointers. For Malik Thomas, it's, 4 games? More than I think about 2/3 of his shots are from deep, and that's a kid that can handle the ball and get to the rim. And I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more of that now too, because if you're settling for threes against UCA and against Samford, well, you're going to be settling for threes on Thanksgiving against Duke.
Well, and what was Michigan State? I'm telling you, teams that play the University of Arkansas, what are they going to do? They're going to play inside out on defense. They're going to protect the paint. And it's almost like it's like a phalanx. Like it comes out and then it contracts back in and then it'll come back out, and they're going to try to just push you out. They're going to make you beat you with the three. And if you want to equate it to football, attacking the paint and getting to the free throw line is like having a strong running game. We're going to impose our will. We're going to run the football on you, and then we're going to set up the pass game. Then we're going to spray the ball. Then once you start collapsing in the paint, we're going to kick it out wide open three, uncontested three. I love uncontested threes, so we'll take those all day. You got to grow up a little bit, and I just think it's so much easier. Like it's easier on your body. You have more energy just to throw up a three. Attacking the rim and then going in there with those bigs and they knocking you around a little bit, it drains you. And so you're just seeing that happen. You're seeing you got to. If we're not going to attack the paint, we'll get beat in the first round in the NCAA tournament. I don't care how much talent you have, but the talent we have, they'll figure it out. Coaches,
yeah.
I think the way coach teaches is, hey, look, this is the way you're trying to do it. How about you do it my way?
It does seem, well, at least based on the way that he talks about it, it's like he lets you as an athlete, you want to be allowed to make your own mistakes, and you learn from your own mistakes more from somebody telling you about them. Or how it is you're supposed to play. You and this is the opportunity to go out. I guess you want to make your mistakes against Samford and against UCA, not against Alabama, not against Tennessee, not against those those SEC teams. I was going to ask, like last season, we never really saw what this team would look like or until they got healthy. It's like November, December, and January last year for men's basketball was two different seasons. It was before anybody started. I mean, you had basically, what was it, 2 of your starters that could not play early in the season because of injuries. Carter's got the toe, but he's already back and looks like his energy's fine. I mean, that'll just be a matter of him
2 more games,
rounding back into basketball shape, right?
2 more games, he'll be in basketball shape.
So at what point is this team who they're going to be, right? Like, when did you decide that football is who they are? When that opinion is baked in. You know, for a baseball team, when I'm watching Arkansas baseball, I'm not going to tell you really what they're going to look like, at least in my mind, until they actually play an SEC team. That's the thing that's so difficult about it. So with basketball, that's one of the things about the schedule that Cal's put up against you. When you play, when you play against Texas Tech, when you play Duke, when you play Houston, already Michigan State, you'll have a better sense of what Arkansas basketball is going to be than at any point last year. Really, at any point, Matt. We never even knew what that team was going to be going into March Madness. We'll have a much better sense this year, as long as they stay healthy.
Yeah, last year was a weird, fluky anomaly, whatever you want to say. It was just a different season. You had some injuries, and then you had Coach Cal learning, Fayetteville, like he said. Everybody's kind of learning each other. This year,
the season of the Blue Blazer, right?
Well, this year you have guys that have been through a college offseason. They know what to expect. When guys come in, every locker room I've ever been a part of, when guys come in, the first time you're ever there, you kind of look, you're aware, you see who are the leaders, who are doing things the right way, who understands the Coach Cal speak, who understands what he's trying to say, who can translate. That wasn't there last year. Everybody was kind of new, you're kind of learning. This year you have guys that have had a time with Coach Cal, so the young guys are able to see. So that's why I think the process is sped up a little bit. I don't know what the record will be because the schedule's tougher, but I don't think they're going to start 0-5 in the SEC this year.
Yeah, I don't think they will either. I wouldn't have thought that had happened last year, but when you do look back at it and all the injuries, it really isn't that much of a surprise. I guess it's easy to say that looking back on something. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Doug says they'll evolve all the way until March, and it's because you're going to rely so much on young years with Acuff and with Thomas. Do you still look at Knox and Richmond as they're not like babies, like you might, you're not a diaper dandy or anything, and Richmond still there's some refinement, probably a lot of refinement to his game, but those would be 2 guys that are pretty good to watch the way that they handle themselves, because man, did they grow last year as freshmen. Malik averaging 6 boards a game. Yeah. I mean that's the thing is he's rebounded well, but not really attacking
Southern
the
and
paint very
UCA.
much.
In Southern and UCA, I don't care about those stats for average stats. We'll look at the Elite 8 teams and we'll do SEC. If I don't want stats in there if we're playing a team that's not a tournament team. We don't care about if that team has 0 guys that can make our 8-man rotation. Those stats they shouldn't matter when you're talking analytics or you're trying to figure it. Now, yeah, it's good. Do what you're supposed to do. But show me against Michigan State. Show me against Duke. Show me against Houston. Show me against Louisville. Let me see those stats.
Power 4 program.
Yeah,
right? I mean any Power 4 program. Right? I mean, it would be any program that's not Power 4, but even like a Big East. A league that recruits at the same level. And man, I mean, that's the same thing. Bubba and I always look at the baseball team statistics, and I know I've got to give the full season stats, but those SEC stats matter so much more. That's probably, if I were a scout and you're like reading into somebody's statistics, and yes, they do care about the stats, you're going to pay attention to what they did in the SEC, always, even more so than in a regional weekend. but you're going to package the stats for a full season, and then the notes will show the rankings against everybody. That's why the rankings for Arkansas offense don't really in football this year don't really mean what the notes say they mean. If the rankings mattered all that much, I think that the football team would have a couple more wins.
Well, nobody's worried. Nobody's worried about individual stats. You're worried about team stats. It's team goals. The individual things take care of themselves. The football team is 0-8. That's what the football team is. We beat 0 people. We won 2 Jamboree games. That's what how many games have we won? 0. I don't care about the stats.
Or remember, you can care about Crabtree RV Center in Alma, the place that's been serving our listening audience for 3/4 of a century and counting. Crabtree RV Center is at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, right beside the Cracker Barrel. And every visit, you'll get the best purchasing experience for any RV. In fact, they'll find the right RV for the adventures that you're telling them about. Personalized financing, top-of-the-line parts and service department on site. Go to crabtreerv.com to learn more. And stay with Halftime. We'll wrap up hour number 1 after this.
The dream dies for LSU. Arkansas by 2 in the third overtime.
This is Halftime.
Hey drivers, got a reefer on the fritz or a trailer that needs some TLC? Roll into High Tech Truck Refrigeration Service in Van Buren, your one-stop, full-service, semi-truck and trailer repair facility, proudly serving you for over 30 years. At High Tech Truck, they do it all. DOTs, preventative maintenance, structural repairs, and expert reefer service. Fast, reliable, and driver approved. Call High Tech Truck today at 479-474-2220. Keep your wheels and your freight moving. High Tech Truck, proud sponsors of Arkansas football.
November 9th, opening day of modern gun season, and Jelco Outdoors has all your deer hunting equipment ready for you. Jelco has a great selection of rifles, scopes, and lots of ammo. Stay warm and dry in the largest selection of boots and clothing for men, women, and children. Tree stands, saddles, box blinds, and ground blinds. Jelco can fix you up. Don't forget the blaze orange caps and vests. Good luck and safe hunting to all deer hunters from your locally owned one-stop shop for the best deer hunting equipment. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
Your vehicle safety systems do more than you think. Cameras, radar, and sensors all working to protect you. After a repair, those systems need calibration to stay accurate. That's why Evans Body Shop now offers in-house ADAS calibration. The same precision technology trusted by top automakers gives us the ability to recalibrate safety systems in-house to factory standards. No guesswork, no outsourcing, just accurate OEM-level calibration to restore your vehicle safety and performance.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Hey, it's JT here at Blue Ember Smokehouse. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and we're here to take the stress out of cooking. Order one of our whole turkeys, turkey breasts, or pit carving hams, all slow smoked the Blue Ember way. And don't forget your favorite sides: mac and cheese, green beans, potato salad, and more. Spend more time with family and less time in the kitchen this year. Last day to order is Friday, November 21st, so place your holiday order today by stopping in-store or calling your nearest Blue Ember Smokehouse. Blue Ember Smokehouse. Get smoked.
Contractors, you know the right equipment makes all the difference. That's why you choose LG HVAC systems. Innovative, efficient, and built to perform. And at J&B Supply, we're more than just a supplier. Since 1968, our family-owned business has provided HVAC and plumbing pros with the products, expert service, and hands-on training to get the job done right. Check out the buzz around LG's new game-changing equipment today. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Matt, I have to be in awe of Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. It's like, give him the MVP every year now. It's, 4 years in a row for Ohtani in 2 different leagues, this one unanimous. I don't mind Judge winning the MVP at all. I'm not one of these people that's going to stand there and be like, this guy didn't deserve it because the guy I thought didn't win. Judge deserves it just as much as Cal Raleigh, but I'd have voted for Raleigh if I had a vote. It's just if Shohei Ohtani is if he's got one leg, that's the only way he doesn't win an MVP next year. So at least that's what it feels like.
Man, he's the closest thing I've seen to Michael Jordan.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Michael Jordan basketball. You knew who the MVP was. You know, during his prime, you watch Shohei play. You're like, that's the MVP. I don't know who else can do it.
That's right. There was an era where it's like, you know what? Why are we even playing this basketball? Just give the Bulls the championship, because you knew it was going to happen. When Michael, for an 8-year period, if Michael Jordan was in basketball shape and wasn't playing baseball for some reason, you knew who the champion was going to be. Like I guess we didn't know it before the first one, but after that, it just felt like a given, and it kind of feels like that with Ohtani. It doesn't feel like that in terms of the Dodgers winning the World Series every year, but they do have 2 in a row.
And it never took him to Game 7 to win any of those championships.
Didn't need extra innings for Game 7 either, did Michael? No. That's a very, very good point. That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. No base running mistakes made by the Utah Jazz that would have closed out that NBA Finals either, huh? Going into hour number 2 of halftime, we'll talk with Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen at a quarter after, so wide open. Lewis Automotive Group hotline is 877-377-6963, and halftime returns right after this break.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing, that hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Winter has arrived, bringing frothy mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
It's time to hit the trails in style. Wheeler Power Sports has a huge selection of brand new side-by-sides and ATVs ready to roll. The 2026 Polaris Ranger Crew XP1000 Northstar Premium, 2026 Polaris Sportsman, and a whole lot more. We have the largest pre-owned selection in Fort Smith. While you're here, toss a few cornhole bags with our sales team. You could win money off of these incredible machines. So don't wait. Get to Wheeler Power Sports, where the fun begins off the road. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Are you a realtor looking for the right team to grow your career? Join the Limbird Real Estate Group, the #1 real estate team in Arkansas. Limbird provides you with everything you need to succeed. Access to a database of over 80,000 leads, full training and support, professional marketing and social media content, all handled for you. Plus health insurance, a stock purchase plan, and revenue share opportunities. If you're ready to grow your business with the best, apply today at limbirdteam.com. That's limbirdteam.com, where realtors go to win.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today. A high this afternoon will be into the upper 70s. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, and overnight low will drop down into the upper 50s. Saturday, sunshine, upper 70s, and then Sunday, mixture clouds and sunshine. Highs on Sunday will be right around the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
That is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. It's hour 2. Halftime continues on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com at 12:01. Phil Elson at XNA Airport. Matt Jones, Christian Johnston holding down our ESPN Arkansas studios. Always enjoy doing a radio show. I can watch airplanes taking off on the jetway here. There's some sort of jet aircraft that doesn't look like it's commercial. It's been taking off and flying just a lot faster than the other ones. Who knows what's going on? You guys have that going on outside your window sometimes, right?
Training
in Fort Smith.
Yeah.
Maybe got some training exercises going on here too. Arkansas LSU week, Battle of the Boot. I guess they're going to put that trophy out in the end zone for the game. You guys, you ever picked it? That's a big trophy, Matt, right? I mean, you've won that trophy. How many did you guys have to pick it up? Because I remember seeing Arkansas guys rush to it before, but it would take quite a few to lift that thing.
Yeah, Baz, Baz is a linebacker, so he's tough. He's strong. He's a lot tougher than a lot of other people, so he made a heavy trophy. It's funny because the way it shifts, it's not like you're just going to take 100 pounds and try to deadlift it or something like that, like everybody could do. It does. It takes 2 or 3 people to pick that thing up, man. Yeah, we won it one year, so we had it won One season, man. It's a tough trophy to win, but it's trophy game. Put it in the trophy case, and as long as it doesn't go into the trophy case up there in Rogers with all the other old stuff. Yeah.
It's too big to fit. I don't know if it would fit in the corner. But you can imagine, and wherever this secretive storage unit is located, it's probably jam packed full of stuff. I've had a storage unit before, Matt. It's been a few years, but I mean, what do you do with a storage unit? You jam it. I mean, literally jam it to the gills, so that it's difficult to actually open the garage door when it's time to open it. Right? That's what those things are for.
You got to spray for silverfish.
I never even thought about the first time I ever thought about a storage unit is watching the movie Silence of the Lambs. You remember Jodie Foster's character is kind of, Buffalo Bill was I think
Clarice.
Clarice is looking through the storage unit of Buffalo Bill, and I think there might have been a head that was sitting in a jar pickling or something. That's my lasting impression of a storage unit.
Breaking Bad, when he goes in there, he goes, I have to do it. He has there's like 30 million laying on the ground. He jumps on it like he's Scrooge McDuck. That was yeah.
You better make sure that they're still paying paying the monthly rent on that thing. Otherwise, it's going to turn into storage wars. You know what happens when you don't pay the rent on your storage unit? They just basically, sell the contents to the highest bidder. And that would be fun, huh? If you just all of a sudden, like, somebody shows up. There are people that spend a lot of time just throwing money down on random storage units, hoping they'll find some kind of buried treasure inside. Wouldn't that be fun? Somebody's at a storage unit in Rogers. Somebody forgot to pay the bill for about a year, and there's the Cotton Bowl trophy and the Grantland Rice trophy in there and all this memorabilia, and it's somebody that's a huge Razorback fan, and they paid $150 for it, and they open the door, and there it is. It's all right there in front of you. You hit the mother load. Do you call Basil and give it to him? Yeah, you better spend some money on that thing. You made an investment. That's why you put the $150 down. Yeah, better make sure they're paying the rent on that thing, Matt, because as of right now, there hadn't really been enough trophies added to it. I don't know what's gone on with the Southwest Conference trophy, but I don't think that's. I don't know if the A&M game is a trophy game anymore. I don't think it is. Missouri is. LSU is. You'll keep playing them.
Last trophy they won was beating Penn State in the Capital Tangerine Bowl. What was would they beat them?
Outback
Bowl.
Yeah. I think that's the last
trophy the
Quest
football
now.
team won, I think.
Is that really the last one?
If you're thinking about Missouri, LSU, and bowl games, that would be the last trophy game that they've won.
You remember the big deal that they made about winning all the trophies that year? I have a T-shirt. I got a T-shirt of a Razorback leaning up against all those trophies, and Larry the Bowling Ball was there too. Is that really the last time they won a game that's a trophy? I mean, the trophy game. I guess you get a trophy for the Liberty Bowl, right?
Oh, there you go. There you go. We won a Liberty Bowl. Okay.
But you haven't won actually one of these rivalry trophy games since 2021. Ooh. C. Grown doesn't like that at all. Here's the Tuna on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Good afternoon, Charlie. How's it going?
The Tuna doesn't like it very much either. I'm right there along with Seagrown. I mean, I know this came after what Baz said the other day, correct? All this, where it's like all these trophies are like supposedly in some sort of.
Yeah, I guess he's got some intel, at least to the town that it's located in. He must know this. He must know the spot.
Okay, my thing is, what are we doing? Like, I don't know you guys have touched on this, but like, and I'm not saying that's the problem with everything. There's so many problems that are going on within the football program right now. Obviously, I mean, you can't just sit there and point at it. But then I think of what Cal's doing, and he's trying to bring the whole state together. He's all about tradition. He's all about what has happened here before. And then I think about what we're doing in football right now, and I'm like, what are we doing? I just don't. I mean, Matt just said it. I mean, back in 2021 or whatever that was, when we won the Outback Steak Bowl or whatever it's called, I don't know. I mean, it's embarrassing and it's frustrating as a fan, and I don't know. I guess I know they play LSU tomorrow, but Matt, how tuned in are you going to be, Matt? Are you going to?
I got to do the post game. I get to do the post game show.
Well framed.
So I will be watching. I will be watching the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
I will be watching the game intently as well, Tuna, through binoculars. I don't have a choice. I have Chuck's eyes for the broadcast because Zim's got basketball tonight, so he's not going to the football game. He usually would help out with the spotting. So, I'm going to be watching the game as closely as anybody.
Yeah, and I get it. You guys have a job to do and all that, but I just wonder. I mean, even as media members at some point and people that are around the team like that, when does it get to a point where you're almost like you want to check out in a sense? I mean, Phil, look at what you got to look forward to this baseball season, and this is coming up, and then women's basketball. I mean, look, and the men's, obviously. I mean, it's just I don't know. Like, even with media members, it's got to be tough. I can only imagine what those players are going through. Matt, I was going to throw this out there, and I know it's been a few days. I was thinking about the Cowboys and what they've been through with the loss of their teammate and all that came out. Did you ever have a situation like that where you may have lost a teammate, during the season? And, I'm not trying to, if you did, bring that back to your head, but like, what is it, as far as like how they deal with this? I know there's not any one answer. This is just such a tough topic to talk about, even for me. But my question is, like, how all you can do is just, I guess, go forward, right? But, guys, there's got to be guys on that team that are, like, there's going to be some that are going to want to play, and that's how they deal with it. There's going to be some that it's going to be hard to even go out there and do. I just wonder, kind of what you guys thought about that and the mentality of the team. And, like, football is great. It's a great game. It brings us all together. It's beautiful. It's one of the it is the greatest team sport in the world, but I just don't know how, I don't know how they're going to do it. Look, they're in a hole as it is as far as the season goes, but, maybe they're not going to get a break from people, but, it's just, for me, I can't, it's hard for me to even judge what happens the rest of the year because of that. Just wonder what y'all thought. Y'all have a good one.
Well, a lot of times it can galvanize you, the locker room. It can bring you together. What are we here for? Life is there. There's more. There's bigger things in football. We get that, but there's a 1%. It's a 1% type of job you have. Not everybody gets to do it. So you go out there and you compete and you play for your brother. You play for your lost brother, but you don't. You gotta keep going forward. I'll never forget a guy tore his ACL during practice. We just moved to the next field. It's tough, man. In life's hard sometimes, and they don't stop and wait for you. Nobody, if you can't do it, you know what? We'll get somebody else in here to do it, and that's just part of the game. You move on and you go on, and if you want to play as a tribute for your brother, do that. But you got to, let's go play.
You got to also, you got to find a way to at least provide the players the proper way to grieve, and whether that's through grief counseling or whatever. I mean, that's the way I think anybody's able to move forward from something as tragic as this. And I've been around a team where we had a death occur right in front of us on a baseball field. Though it took a while for that baseball team
kind of in shock for a little bit.
Yes, they played a game 2 days later. It was it's different. Like an injury that ends somebody's season, an injury that ends somebody's career. That's a sad thing. But you also understand that the injuries are always part of sports. Death is not a part of sports. It's a part of life. It's a part of, unfortunately, a part of relationships that they come to an end. But when it happens the way that this happened with Nealon, it's so sudden. And look, he played at Western Michigan. That's where my brother-in-law is the athletics director. My sister taught this kid yoga and loved the kid. But she also said, if you knew him, you knew that there was something there where you're not that surprised that this happened. And you know, even with that thought, it's still something very sudden. And these players and the coaches too, and I mean, they all need to be able to grieve properly, because if you don't, I think it's really difficult to move forward in just about anything. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Going to break here. Before we do, I'm going to remind you about Joe's Grilling Cantina. It's the best place to watch Arkansas football tomorrow, because if you're wearing your Razorback gear, half-price apps and cheap taps. They're also going to have drink specials all throughout the game. Keeps the party going no matter what the score is. It's Joe's Grilling Cantina. Wear your Razorback gear during the game tomorrow. Half-price apps and cheap taps. They're at 3400 South 74th in Fort Smith, right across from Harps. Joe's is where the taps flow and fans roar. Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen stops by halftime in just a moment.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Ryan McGee, ESPN.com senior writer, Marty and McGee. Squeeze play or red zone?
Squeeze play. Squeeze play is like a drug for me. Like, I've never done drugs, but I kind of get it, because when they go to that quad box, I was texting Mike Rooney and Chris Budden and Chris Burke and Matt Schick going, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Weekdays from 9 to 11.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
And hitthatline.com.
How could I possibly be expected to handle work on a day like this? Take a day off and check out the certified pre-owned rides at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and upgrade to the road-ready certified.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Go all in on luxury with Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. There's the $5 box, indulgent. The $7 box, extravagant. And the $9 box, indescribable with the new steak and poblano rolled quesadilla. It's Lux. For less. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together. Because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the bet back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Before we start, you should know that you're not the only one.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Headed to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Neil Atkinson with us from Bet Saracen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. You want to put a little wager on your favorite sporting event, you got Bet Saracen on your phone. And if you don't, download it from the App Store for your iPhone. If you got an Android, Google Play, betsaracen.com and a web browser, but make sure you're inside the state of Arkansas. It's the only way to use Bet Saracen. Good afternoon, Neil. Happy Friday. How are you?
I'm doing well. Actually, in our iGaming Tech Hub up here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, getting ready for some new product releases over the next week that I'm excited about. One of them I can talk about. One of them I'm going to do one more test on Monday night, and everybody knows what happens on Monday night and probably what it's related to. And we're going to have a new incredible feature that I think will get a pretty good reception. So I'm going to leave it a little bit cryptic. It's going to have to do with NFL football, but we're excited about it. And the App Store's already approved the build on Apple. We should get the Google Play Store approval on that app build sometime over the weekend, and then we can release both of them on Monday morning. And I think people are going to be pretty happy with one feature that's going to stand out real big that I can talk about.
But so you did say there is one feature you can talk about, so I'll give you the floor to do that.
Yep. Well, and look, I'm going to be honest. I know one of my competitors has had this feature, and it has been the most asked feature that I've had over the past couple of months. So now when you go into the main market of football, any of the main markets, we're going to have a slider bar where if you don't like what the consensus line is, you can just move that slider bar and pick whatever line that you want. It will automatically price it, put it on your bet slip, and you're good to go. So one of my competitors has executed that pretty good, and that's one of the few things they had up on me. So they've copied a few things I've done, so it's my turn now, and I'm happy to deliver that one, and it looks really, really good.
So it's setting your own odds? I mean, this sounds like something completely different and very new.
Well, technically, we have alternate markets, and it's in a grid. So you have to make the grid, and you've got like 20 different alternate lines, for a football game or a basketball game, depending on what the market is. So you had to go through and find the one that you wanted and select it. Now you'll just be able to take your finger and just slide it to the line that you want on the game. It will price it up. It won't be the same odds as if what the consensus line is, because you're either buying points or giving up points, depending on what your betting strategy is. And it's just an easier way to set your own line or where you're comfortable of betting a market Now, it's not going to pay out as much if it's -7 and you move it to -10, sort of like, if you would do the difference between a parlay and a teaser, like a 6-point football teaser or something like that, where you're given an extra 6 points on all your different markets. Now you'll be able to do it on your individual selections on the app a lot easier. You can technically do it now, but you have to hunt and peck and pick the market. We're just going to make it where you just slot it and add it to your bet slip, and you're ready to go.
Neil, Seth and Rogers already has asked the question that is coming. People are interested in knowing what Bet Saracen's simulation thinks about Arkansas versus LSU. That's independent of the line, but man, ever since the Memphis game where the computer spit out a score that was 1 point off, that's the thing everybody wants to know here.
Yeah, I don't like this week's model, but I'll give it to you. I don't ever mind giving it to you. I have a projected score of Arkansas Razorbacks 22, LSU 34. So that's my simulated projected score on this particular game. So that model says take the Tigers and minus the points right now. I would give that a B based on the difference between the average spread probability of 63% versus the implied probability of the price of the market at 52. So those that are in the sports betting world that are real serious about it, they'll know that the term positive expected value. And this is one of those scenarios that the numbers kind of indicates towards that based on where the consensus line is right now.
Basketball, did you find the line on Bet Saracen for Arkansas against Samford is -25.5, -9,000 money line for the Razorbacks? Do you find at this point, unless it's a game where the line is a lot tighter, people generally are staying away from Arkansas basketball? I'm sure they didn't against Michigan State. They won't against Duke. But when it comes to these big lines, do they stay away, or is it still popular?
What was it? They played UCA was on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't stay away at all. They bet the fire out of it, and I think the line went off at 36.5 and went at a 37-point spread. So we were pretty darn close on it, and of course Arkansas did cover and the over hit. So the people that bet Arkansas did very, very well. And of course the money line, we didn't even offer a money line on that game. We typically don't offer money lines once the point spread goes over 30, and we don't offer a money line once the point spread goes over 23. Because who's going to bet $900 to win? To win $1. I mean, who wants to do that? So, but it's up there if people want to do it. I don't recommend it, and like I said, once the point spread gets over 30, we don't even offer a money line on it because it's just not a good value for it. There's no sense. All you can do is lose a bet if something strange happened, and so that we typically just don't offer that because it's not a smart play.
Neil, tell me, with football and basketball coming together here, it's crossover season for us. Baseball just came to an end. You guys had hockey start and the NBA start at the same time. When we're covering games, sometimes it feels a little, not overwhelming, it's just a little bit difficult to know what it is you're paying attention to. There's a coaching search and everything. Crossover season for a sports book, but this is, that's your guys' time of the year is when these sports come together. It's got to be a real thrilling time to be at Bet Saracen, really.
Yeah, everybody thinks like a March Madness or the Super Bowl are our biggest months. Well, February's not because there's fewer days in the month, and the Super Bowl is the only NFL game in the entire month of February. November is our biggest volume month traditionally because of the alignment of all the sports and everything that starts up. You've got the NBA. You got every sport but baseball for all practical purposes in the WNBA. You even have English Premier League soccer. Is in the thick of their season over there, and the Champions Leagues over there in Europe, and you also have the Brazil series and the soccer. And so this is just our entire busiest month, and it is a lot to keep up with, and with the additional markets that we've added this year, and we're not done adding them yet. It is overwhelming, but what we're finding is that a lot of you've got very few players bet across all the different sports. Usually people that we see when we segment them and market to them, we see they have a favorite or a tendency. They like to bet either, there's some people that will only bet NCAA basketball. Some will only bet NBA, so you've got a lot of different types of bettors out there. And because you have that different types of bettors out there, you have to have all the different type of content to make them happy and offer the markets that they want to bet.
I gotta bring up. It feels like there's a gambling scandal every week now in college sports and in professional sports. The one I was going to bring up was the Cleveland pitchers, Ortiz and Clase, and how they were. What this does is it zeroed in on the ability to manipulate a game because of prop bets on a pitch-by-pitch basis. I know Major League Baseball has, I think, struck a deal to limit the amount of money on a pitch to $200. Had Bet Sarazen offered props on pitches on a pitch-by-pitch basis? And do you think that this is now I know we've talked about prop bets before, but this seems like I know college, the NCAA wants to limit them on athletes in college. This is the first time I remember Major League Baseball making a move about it. The NBA has talked about this as well. It does feel like prop bets are a little bit in the crosshairs.
They are, and it's unnecessarily so. You're getting ready to trigger me on this particular topic because I'm a little passionate about it. Yeah, I have a different philosophy. Yes, there is more gambling in the United States because there, I think, are now 38 different states where sports betting is legal in some form or fashion, with the majority of them having mobile sports book. There's a few states that are only retail. The sports betting industry, and if you look over history, before when gambling in the United States was just localized to just Nevada, primarily in Las Vegas, I think you had two states that had some sports-based lotteries that were kind of like grandfathered over, before PAPSA was overturned. My philosophy is that these bets are all over the world. You've got platforms in Europe, Asia, Africa. Brazil is absolutely exploding in the sports betting market. There's 212 million people in Brazil, and that is an emerging market. They're where we were in 2020, just 2 years after sports betting was legalized. That's where they are right now. And I like to think if the American regulators or the leagues, first of all, that's more of a gentleman's agreement as far as the limits and those particular props. So we haven't reacted, but we don't take a lot of big bets on those anyway. We have our risk profile because we're a single state operator. My premise is that by banning it here in the U.S. on the regulated sports books, first of all, you've got the consumer finance trading issue out there. You have sweepstakes casinos. You have illegal casinos. You have the fantasy sports, which is basically morphed into basically sports betting in the format, kind of a gray area. There's a battle between all the interests, and of course I'm biased towards legal casino regulated sports books. That's the ostrich putting their head in the sand mentality, because you are not going to stop this prop betting. You're just going to push it to the black market where there is zero integrity monitoring, zero, and those other types of markets are more easily manipulated than the sports betting markets, and that's been shown. So I think this is a knee-jerk reaction. There has always been irregularities that had happened in sports. The reason why you're seeing it is because with it being transparent and the technology that we have with geolocation, what devices the bets come from, I have those devices been in the same area, have more than one account signed on a device, just common sense stuff that's out there in the public knowledge. We are able to detect and find this out. Whereas before we didn't have the mechanism to do it because it was done with illegal bookies, it was done in different countries. And now that we have the commodity contracts with zero integrity monitoring, I think that is more of the threat. And I really think the league are taking a if they bury it in the sand, they don't have to worry about it anymore. But that's it's a Band-Aid on a problem that's going to get ripped off as these other sports betting technologies evolve, whether or not they stay legal or whatever happens in the court systems on who wins, on who gets to run sports betting. And that's going to take several years to sort out. But what I do know is that here in Arkansas, we're a legal regulated sports book, and we're heavily regulated, and it's great for the consumer and great for the integrity of the game. Our system, I don't think the other systems are conducive to that.
Neil, appreciate you talking about that, and we'll leave it there, and we'll visit again next week. Have a great weekend.
All right, everybody, have a safe weekend. I've got Battle of the Ravine lines up. Check the promos. We've got the lines up for the basketball game tonight with Samford, and it's going to be a big weekend. I think we'll have maybe we'll have a clearer playoff picture, or it could be as clear as mud after this weekend. Anything can happen on the field, and there's a lot of interesting games out there, and I'm looking forward to it. Stay safe, everyone.
All right, you can download BetSaracen from the App Store for your iPhone, Android users, Google Play, BetSaracen.com in the web browsers. We'll be back in a moment. This is Halftime.
I just want to let you know you're the best as far as calling baseball games I've ever heard.
This is Halftime.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Not like I got anything against Bo, but
Well, to be fair, y'all both,
oh, that's low. That's called very low-hanging fruit. Incredibly
That way
low-hanging
y'all can
fruit.
both get to it.
That's
This is Halftime.
Looking for a gift that's full of flavor and hometown pride? Then the House of Webster in Rogers, Arkansas has you covered. Our jams, jellies, preserves, and salsa gift packs are made right here in Rogers, perfect for family, friends, or anyone who loves great taste. Stop by our gift shop at 1013 North 2nd Street in Rogers, or shop online at houseofwebster.com. Got family in other states? We'll ship it for you. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
I've got a confession to make. I'm on my phone way too much, and most of the time, it's a waste. Hey, it's Ty Richardson for JamMart gas stations and convenience stores. There are some apps that are worth your time, such as the JamMart Rewards app. It includes top deals, the latest promotions, plus rewards that keep you coming back. Anytime I stop by the pump or register, my loyalty number is being utilized. Keeping up with my points and offers is easy. Download the JamMart Rewards app today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience stores in Arkansas.
Are you a realtor looking for the right team to grow your career? Join the Lindbergh Real Estate Group, the #1 real estate team in Arkansas. Lindbergh provides you with everything you need to succeed. Access to a database of over 80,000 leads, full training and support, professional marketing and social media content, all handled for you. Plus health insurance, a stock purchase plan, and revenue share opportunities. If you're ready to grow your business with the best, apply today at LindberghTeam.com. That's LindberghTeam.com, where realtors go to win.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
She's a friend of mine in the apple pie and the sharpshooter. I'm in the overtime like it's sharpshooter. I feel like I'm intruding. She's a friend of mine in the alibi in the getaway car in overdrive like it's sharpshooter. I like the way you're moving. She's a real live wow. What's she talking about? I think I love her. Yeah, 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 yeah. So
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Headed down to Baton Rouge in just a little bit here, Matt. Got me thinking about seafood, got me thinking about po' boys. Guess what's going on at Fish City Grill in Rogers right now? Oyster Po' Boys are back on the chalkboard specials. Comes with remoulade, lettuce, tomato, onion, and pickles on Gambino's French bread. Oyster Fest is starting up on November the 18th, all through the 30th. Of course, this is a month that ends in BER. Char-grilled oysters, specialties like Rockefeller with Parmesan breadcrumbs and the Snyder Pearl with secret sauce. Ask Brett and his team to cater for you because they do the same thing for the Razorbacks. Call Fish City Grill at 479-636-8833. Find them at South Bellevue Road in Rogers, Uber Eats, or order online at fishcitygrill.com. Fish City Grill, friendly folks, and serious seafood. All right. One thing I got to do before I get out here is, guys, we got to pick our Survivor Series picks for this third to last weekend of the college football season, in which Matt has been dominant with 10 wins, hasn't picked a loser yet. Unit has 7 wins after Vanderbilt escaped Auburn last week. He's got 9 teams to choose from. Matt's got 5 teams to choose from. I stink. I'm still stuck on Arkansas. So that's from their loss against Auburn. So I got to take the Razorbacks against LSU because I don't have a choice.
Is it? I don't know who picked first out of the Unit and myself. So whose pick is?
Well, let's go with the guy let's go with the second place guy. Just give him a little bit of a better option, okay? Unit, you can go first. You can pick between Arkansas, Auburn, Texas, A&M, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Kentucky, Mizzou, or LSU. And there are 2 teams off this weekend. Auburn and Vanderbilt do not play.
I will go. Man, Tennessee Tech is 10-0. They play Kentucky.
I was reading about their coach is really pissed off that they have to play this game against Kentucky when they're in a race to win their league in the FCS, and he was not the coach when they signed to play this game. So it's just one of these. To me, it's another example of why are we doing FBS versus FCS? And if you are doing it, do it week 1, please.
Yeah, I've got Missouri beating Mississippi State. I don't think Mississippi State's all that good. I think Missouri should beat them pretty handily.
That's a pretty good pick there, Unit. Matt, you've got Auburn, Vanderbilt. You can't pick either of those teams because they're off. Mm-hmm. So you can choose either South Carolina, Mississippi State, LSU, or Florida.
Tigers.
You're going to go with LSU. And I think you told us you were going to do that earlier in the week because, well, they're playing the Razorbacks. So there you go. Unit is picking Missouri as the Tigers take on
though, at some point.
Mississippi State. Yeah, at some point you're going to have to. Well, that's not true.
Well,
you
no,
don't.
because I have more options. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had, what is this? We have, there's 11 games. There's a 13-week season. There's 16 teams. So you don't have to take every team. Yeah. Although, you can't do Survivor Series when it comes to the championship games because by then there's only 2 teams to choose from. So I think that makes sense. So Matt's got LSU against Arkansas. I've got the Razorbacks beating LSU. Be my 3rd week in a row that I take Arkansas, and hopefully I get off a schneid at some point with them. I don't want to see an 0-8 season, and I don't want to be stuck on the Hogs myself all month because I've seen you guys eat tacos, and you guys have quite the appetite sometimes. You have to go over to Joe's for a Taco Tuesday and just do dollar tacos. That's about it. All right, so that's our Survivor Series update for halftime this week. And then we'll update the standings on Monday. I'll also have a Fish City Grill trivia question for Monday. That's when we'll give away our $25 gift card to Fish City Grill. All right, I got to get through security. The team is arriving at XNA, and I hate being the last person on the plane. That is the loneliest feeling on earth. So I'm going to leave you guys to Matt and to Christian. And guys, I hope you have a great weekend, and hopefully Monday we'll have something a little happier to talk about other than just a basketball win over Samford.
Safe travels.
Yeah, you guys have a great weekend, and stay with halftime. The guys will be right back after this.
Matt, you're my favorite Razorback by far. I wish we had a player on that team that had as much heart as you played with.
This is halftime.
For details. At Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, Van Buren, there's never been a better time to buy. Stop in today and check out our huge discounts on new Chevrolets and pre-owns. No reasonable offer will be refused, and at Roads, we always give you more for your trade. Plus, we offer free pickup and delivery. You can even buy remotely. Stop in and let us show you the Roads way with our 2-year complimentary maintenance program on every vehicle sold. Experience the Roads way. Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, where you get the best prices, period.
Crisp air, colorful leaves, and the perfect season to get moving. It's fall at True Grit Running Company. Whether you're hitting the trails, walking the neighborhood, or cheering from the sidelines, we've got the shoes, apparel, and accessories to keep you comfy and supported. From cozy layers to top brands like Hoka, Brooks, and OOFOS, fall into your new favorites today. Stop by True Grit Running Company on Riders Avenue in Fort Smith, right behind Chick-fil-A. This autumn, let your journey start with True Grit.
For over 50 years, WT Equipment has been your trusted family-owned dealer for tractors, hay tools, and light construction equipment. Right now, WT Equipment's got unbeatable October deals. Get 0% for 84 months on Workmaster 35 and 40 tractors, or drive home a Workmaster 25 with payments as low as $169.99 a month. WACC. Visit WT Equipment today and talk to their sales team for all the details. WT Equipment. Equip your future. Elevate your potential.
If the 25th is the silver anniversary and the 50th is gold, what's the 75th? Well, that's the fresh beef, onions, pickles, lettuce, tomatoes, fries, and drink anniversary. Everybody knows that. Get the #1 water meal for $7.50 in honor of our 75th anniversary. A meal like that is the way you're supposed to celebrate a 75th. The Whataburger 75th meal deal. Whataburger, what a deal. For a limited time at participating locations.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Get ready to run for a cause at the 21st Annual Mercy Turkey Run 5K, happening Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, November 27th. This fun family event supports Mercy Fitness Center, and every participant gets a medal, t-shirt, and winners take home the pie. Plus, don't miss your chance to win prizes for the best individual and group costumes. Spots are still available, but register by Friday, November 14th to guarantee your t-shirt. Bring your family and friends to Do It for the Pie. Register today at mercyhealthfoundation.net/turkey run.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one. No is the saddest experience you'll ever know. Yes, it's the saddest experience you'll ever know. 'Cause one is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. One is the loneliest number over two. It's just no good anymore since you went away. Now I spend my time just making rhymes of yesterday.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, back. Halftime. We're just moving right along. Almost made it to the golden hour. Having a fun show here today. Will it be myself, the unit, bringing you on home for the golden hour? We'll have a couple interviews coming up. Got a big one coming up, something you're going to hear here in about 20, 30 minutes. The Battle of the Ravine. Unit, have you been to the Battle of the Ravine?
I have been maybe twice.
Oh, nice.
I had a high school buddy, Logan Morris. He played tight end for him.
Which one did he play for? The purple
OBU,
team or the
OBU.
red team? The purples.
OBU. Yeah, it's cool, man. I've been there, seen the whole shebang, and yeah, it's an event for sure. You know, it's something that you at least want to experience once. You know, some years may be better than others, just depending on, how good the teams are, but it's still a big rivalry.
Do you think that it's realistic, or do you think it's a bunch of smoke? Since smoke has been the word that's been popular the last couple weeks, a smoke screen. Do you actually believe that game day will show up and go to, or is it just like, hey, we're talking about it, but we all know it's not really going to happen?
I'm not saying it can't ever happen, but it's.
Give me a percent.
Yeah, I'm going maybe 30%.
30%, okay.
I don't know what their thinking is on this. It would probably be the smallest as far as
they do it in North Dakota State a couple years ago or something?
Yeah, but I can't see them going, I guess below FCS.
How many? So when you went, was there 2,500 people watching the game at least, or was it less than that?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
There was.
Is that what you're getting at? That there's just not enough people to show up?
Well, you've got the tailgating areas and stuff, and some people kind of stand around the end zones. If you're allowed to, I think mostly media is supposed to be down there, but I mean, it's not. I don't know. Being in the SEC, you get kind of spoiled because you've seen like the best of the best, right? Like when not just Arkansas, but anybody, when you're good and you're in a big time matchup, the SEC is the cream of the crop. But for that level of college football and just for the notoriety and if nothing else, just to give the rivalry some pub, and because the rivalry in itself is interesting, the fact that they're so close together, both campuses are so close together, and it would just be different. And in that aspect, it would be cool. I would definitely watch game day from Arkadelphia.
It would be cool. My dad, he played for Ouachita years ago under Buddy Bob Benson. So if there's some fans out there of Ouachita Baptist, who Buddy Bob Benson is. So he's played in it, and that's pretty cool. I went. I want to say it was around 2015, 24. It was a decade ago. I went down there, and it was a friend of the family had a son that played kind of like what you're saying. So there was somebody who was playing in it that you kind of knew.
The last time I went was when Arkansas beat LSU 16-13 that day.
We got time to go to the phones, or you want to wait?
Yeah, we got time.
Let's do it.
We got Brent in Kentucky. Brent, you there?
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Yo.
Just wondering, I was thinking about some things. Wanted to get your insights on how, in the past, when we look for a coach, you look for a coach that could recruit the local talent, maintain it, develop it over time, and created that Arkansas heartbeat where every few years you're contending for a title. It looks like today with NIL and portal, everything's changed to being more transactional, almost like a baseball game manager. And I'm wondering what the new points are that you think we need to look at. And I really think we're going to end up with Bobby Petrino because I just think we're going to make a lot of pay raises for other people. But I hope I'm wrong. Your thoughts?
I think, thanks for the call, Brent. If Bobby Petrino is the head coach of the Hogs, we'll be fine. He's a heck of a coach. He knows what he's doing. We're just talking football here. He knows football, man. He eats and sleeps and drinks and breathes football. So and I always go to the WAR. It's a baseball term, but it's wins above replacement. Who are we going to get that would be better? So what is his WAR rating going to be? If it's Jimmy Franklin, which is that a pie in the sky dream, or is that really something that's going to happen? Then yeah. My thing is though, you got to win one of these games. He's been the interim. What do we have? How many games is this for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's going to get 7 opportunities. I don't know. That's just my thinking. And then the other thinking is you just want a total culture overhaul. Do you just want to rip the Band-Aid off, flush it down the drain, and start over? I don't know what the administration and the search committee's doing, but I hope they get it right. Whatever they do, I hope they get it right. And there's probably more than one right answer. Could Bobby handle the job and be successful? And if Bobby's the head coach for the next decade, would we make the playoff 12? I think we'd make it at least once. So are you going to bring in another coach? You think you can make it once? And if he's the coach for the next decade, would you make a bowl game 6 out of the 10 years? I do. I think 6 out of the 10 years minimum we'd make a bowl game. So, that's one way to go. I don't know what they're thinking, but you got to win one. You got to find a way to win one of these next 3 games, I think, if he wants to be the coach. Well, we're headed up into the Pineapple Golden Hour, and man, we're gonna have fun. If you want to get in with us, do that. 877-377-6963. We'll be back right after this.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Have you had Cheerwine yet? The cherry flavor soda has had people coming back since 1917. This is RD with Platinum Distributing. We help bring Cheerwine to the River Valley for you to try. Nothing goes with food like Cheerwine. Burgers, barbecue, pizza, you name it. Okay, now we're hungry and thirsty. Cheerwine is a one-of-a-kind soft drink with a unique cherry taste that has been delighting Southerners for more than a century. Pick up Cheerwine at your local Jam Mart, Harps, and other fine establishments. Cheerwine, uniquely Southern since 1917.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Hey, it's Zach from the Ruskin and Zach Show. We will be live at Blue Ember Smokehouse Monday, November 17th at 8000 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Order one of their whole turkeys, juicy turkey breasts, or flavorful pit carving hams, all slow smoked the Blue Ember way. And don't forget your favorite sides, mac and cheese, green beans, baked beans, potato salad, and more. Spend more time with the family and less time in the kitchen. Place your holiday order today by stopping in-store or calling your nearest Blue Ember Smokehouse. Blue Ember Smokehouse. Get smoked.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today. A high this afternoon will be into the upper 70s. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, and overnight low will drop down into the upper 50s. Saturday, sunshine, upper 70s, and then Sunday, mixed clouds and sunshine. Highs on Sunday will be right around the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Tommy's right on this one. Do you feel? Let me ask you this.
Normal around here.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Bill said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Name of one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
All right, everybody, happy Friday. Back halftime, myself and the unit rolling right along this Pineapple Golden Hour. And we got some good interviews coming up. Who's the next coach? That's what seems to be atop of everybody's mind. Who do you think the next Razorback coach is going to be? Percentage, you guys think Bobby? What does Bobby have to do, or is it too late? Can Bobby still win this job and be the guy going forward, or is it futile?
I think, especially with some of the names that have been linked to Arkansas, I think even if Bobby were to win these last 3 games, that there's still a chance he may not be the coach.
So it's futile. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not, nothing he can do can
Yeah.
do it. But I think if he wins the next 3, it'd be tough not to keep him
would.
on.
I just don't. Would you get that much support? Well, it doesn't really. It kind of matters what the fans think, but at the end of the day, you're not making the decision.
What the money people think.
Yeah. So,
And we found out the money people don't care about the fans. That's
You're-
the
you're
thing.
right.
They care about themselves and they care about the bottom line. The fans are the last to they don't. It doesn't matter. No, but they don't really care about the fans. It's like, hey, y'all can go sit up about 38 rows higher if you don't want to pay 500% more in for your seat. It's just a weird. There's no loyalty to the fans. But if you got money, we'll smile and say, hey, howdy doody to you. But if you don't have any money, we don't really care about you. That's what everybody's. That's just the new way of the NIL. That's how it goes.
and people also don't mind, and this is pretty obvious, don't mind spending more money when the team's good, and that goes for fans. Like, it's really, you don't really think about stuff like that when the team is good. So
Well, we have some phone callers. If you want to be like these next couple phone callers and you want to call in and chat with us, what's on your mind? Who do you think the next head football coach would be? 877-377-6963. Give us a call. Tell us what we got, unit.
Kevin in Fort Smith, what's up, man? Kevin,
Hey guys, how y'all doing today?
doing good.
Hello. Good. Y'all were talking about Coach Benson a while ago. I played for him in the '82, and we played Henderson State, beat them, and with 2 seconds left on the clock,
Nice.
and ran back across the highway back to school. That
It was like a
that won us
smash and
the-
grab job, huh?
The AIC, yeah, that won the AIC championship. If they had beat us, we'd have tied it. So we won, ran back. I mean, it was an exciting time. It was great. Coach Benson was old school, and I learned more from him than I did any coach I ever played for.
Man, that's super cool. You just missed my pops, and it would have been there in the late 70s, so y'all just missed each other. But yeah, man, that's super cool, man. Thank you for the story. That's cool, man. There was a battle of the ravine guy right there, old soldier right there, telling the story, and smash and grab, go back to the dorm room. I love it. All right, let's continue on. Phones, let's go.
Larry in Fayetteville.
Hello.
Larry,
Yes.
what's up, dude?
Well, like everybody, I've got an opinion. You know, Mike Irwin for the last several weeks has been saying the university's putting out a lot of smoke and mirrors as to who, what, when, where. You know, I think the decision for getting Bobby or not getting Bobby has already been made. I don't.
Yeah.
If he wins 3 games, I still think the decision has been made. And Bobby is not an idiot. He's been around this game a long time. I think any new coach that comes in, I don't think it's James Franklin. I don't think he would mesh with the Arkansas Razorback fans. So I think anybody they've hired that has not been mentioned yet, I think that decision has been made. And I also think that part of the deal is Bobby will be your offensive coordinator. What do you think about that?
No. He's got the last 2 head coaches fired wherever he worked. I don't. If I was a head coach, and I think 99% of all head coaches, if you coming into Arkansas, why would you keep him as the OC? There's no way I'd do it.
One of the things that if you were Bobby, you wouldn't do it.
No, if I'm Bobby, I 100% would do it. But if I'm a head coach coming in, I'm pulling the Band-Aid off. If you're a coach in this regime, you're gone. We got to start over with a new culture, with a new way about going things. Have a little more discipline. Camp's going to be a little harder this year. You know, the last 2 years, Sam Pittman's come out after a game and said, "Well, we just weren't in shape. The heat kind of got us." That was our ball coach. That can't be a thing. You can't get outworked. You can't be like, "Oh, we weren't in shape. That's the reason we couldn't win in the fourth quarter." BYU a couple years ago, that happened. Oklahoma State last year, that happened. Memphis this year. Every single year we lost the game because Camp he's trying to be their buddy. Wasn't working. It's facts. He came out and said it. We can see it with our eyes. You got to have a total overhaul. Get them all out of there.
Well, you know, the thing is, everybody seems to think that Bobby Petrino is one of the top 10 offensive coordinators in the country, and that, you know, he is 58 years old. I don't think he's got a lot of people beating his door down. I don't think you can get another offensive coordinator better than Bobby. And as far as the team being in shape, I think that was Sam's call, even though I think the world of him, that they weren't in shape. But the other thing that we keep missing is that all through the camp before the season started, Sam kept saying, you know, we need some defensive players. He never did get them. And everything that we have lost this year that we've been close in, except for the Notre Dame game, it's been in that last quarter. You've got people who are gasping for air because they played the whole game.
Well, you know, Memphis, the Ole Miss game, the offense fumbled and lost the game. The Memphis game, the offense fumbled and lost the game.
That's true.
Yeah, was that the Mississippi State game? We had 4 turnovers
Tennessee.
in the fourth quarter. You know, like the offense. I'm with you. We got to spend more money on defense. But if you're looking at a whole, I mean, the offense has cost us more games than the defense has this year.
Well, I agree. Part of that, and I'm not making an excuse, but part of that is the offense goes out there and says, we have got to do super.
That's true. They might be pressing a little bit. You might be onto something there.
It's amazing how many close losses there have been this year with the defense that we have. It's
well. You've got a lot of names being thrown around. One at Tulane, one at Memphis. You had Dan Mullen thrown around a little bit. You've heard talk about Franklin. None of those is going to make a splash. And I think the decision is made that they're going to spend the money, whatever it takes to make a splash, because they've lost the fans.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think it's Petrino.
I don't either, and I think Petrino would be a good choice, but I don't think so.
Thank you so much for your phone call.
Now, if Petrino had won a couple of these games, and then you still got these big-time games, you know, left down the stretch, then I think he'd probably be the guy. I mean, heck, if he wins that Mississippi State game, he may have his odds may be even that much higher. But
no, that was the Auburn game. We had the 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter. Yeah, that's. I mean, the offense is kind of, you know, that was supposed to be our calling card or something that you could say this team had an identity, and it gets down to it. Our identity is that we can't hang on to the ball in the fourth quarter.
And that, I mean, that's part of Bobby's, you know, offense. The last 2 years that's really been the issue the last 2 years, hasn't it? I mean, it's, you know, they may score a lot of points, but if you're giving the ball away, it's kind of like, you know, you're scoring points, but you're giving those points right back to the other team. So
the object of the game is to win. Would you not rather be the Iowa Hawkeyes over the last decade? Like you're thinking about, they can't do anything on offense, but they win games. It's like each individual game tells its own story. And sure, you want action stars and you have to have speed. You got to have guys that can make plays. And I don't think you could win like that in the SEC, but you have to be simpatico with your defense. And that's the thing. Yeah, the numbers look good when you look at without the end result. Everybody's so lost. Everybody is so they're confused. Oh, look at these numbers. Look at these numbers. I don't care what his numbers are if you can't win a single game. Like, come on. Like that. The point of this whole thing is to win football games. I don't care who the best side. If the defense can be better than the offense can be better. It doesn't matter. And you want to look at stats. Here's the stat that matters: wins and losses. Everything else matters after that, but it doesn't matter before that. It's after win or loss. Okay, then let's look at the stats. Did you win or lose the game? That's it. That's where we're going. And we haven't won a single game all year.
All right, we do have enough time for a couple of phone callers, and then we'll get to the interviews probably in the next segment. But all right, let's go with Terry and Alma. Hey, Terry.
Hey, good afternoon. I didn't know if anybody's brought up the topic of Boogie playing today or this week, but I was just curious if Boogie knew about Acuff and Malik coming in this year, that his time was going to be cut, and how did Boogie's stats compare to Acuff's stats this time last year?
Yeah, thanks for the phone call. They're different players. Boogie's quicker. Acuff probably shoots it a little better.
Yeah.
Boogie is the quickest player on the floor every night. That's for sure.
Stronger. Acuff's a little stronger.
He's not who can Boogie guard? Nobody, but he plays help defense really good. He gets in the passing lanes. He can pick your pocket, but he can't really guard anybody one because he's a little baby. He's just little. He's just a little guy. And so it's tough. It's tough when you're under 6 foot to really do anything. But he's going to be a heck of a player. Boogie's going to make 6 figures a year for a decade playing basketball, maybe even 7. It just won't be in America. It'll be in France or Italy or Australia. He'll be somewhere making a living playing basketball. But Boogie's a heck of a player. Don't get me wrong. It's just he was sold as, hey, there's this freshman coming in, one and done lottery pick. It's like, tell me the last time you've seen one and done lottery picks when they're under 6 foot. It's like, who are the people saying all these things?
Well, it's probably some sports agent, but I just feel like we're better off this year with Acuff than we were last year at this time with Boogie. That's just my opinion. Y'all have a great weekend now.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm pulling for Boogie. I like watching Boogie play. I will like watching Boogie Flan play. No question about it. That Florida team, they're going to be tough. They'll be able to outscore you. I just don't know who all they're going to guard. But we're going to hit a break, and we're going to come back with some Alyssa Orange.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
This is Phil Steele, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
How much more difficult has your job gotten in the last 24, 36 months with portal, with all these things, and just keeping everybody on the right roster?
Ridiculous compared to 5 years ago, especially with the 2 transfer portals. And the one thing I noticed this year, guys, a lot of players that came in the winter portal were leaving at the end of the spring portal, for crying out loud.
Weekdays from 9 to 11, only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hey, it's Zach from the Ruskin and Zach Show. We will be live at Blue Ember Smokehouse Monday, November 17th at 8000 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Order one of their whole turkeys, juicy turkey breasts, or flavorful pit carving hams, all slow smoked the Blue Ember way. And don't forget your favorite sides, mac and cheese, green beans, baked beans, potato salad, and more. Spend more time with the family and less time in the kitchen. Place your holiday order today by stopping in-store or calling your nearest Blue Ember Smokehouse. Blue Ember Smokehouse. Get smoked.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Get ready to run for a cause at the 21st Annual Mercy Turkey Run 5K, happening Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, November 27th. This fun family event supports Mercy Fitness Center, and every participant gets a medal, t-shirt, and winners take home the pie. Plus, don't miss your chance to win prizes for the best individual and group costumes. Spots are still available, but register by Friday, November 14th to guarantee your t-shirt. Bring your family and friends to Do It for the Pie. Register today at mercyhealthfoundation.net/turkey run.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Baby, I'm amazed the way you love me all the time. Maybe I'm afraid of the way I love you. Baby, I'm amazed the way you love me all the time. You hold me all night. Baby, I'm amazed the way I really need you. Baby, I'm a lonely man who's in the middle of something that he doesn't really understand. Baby, won't you help me to understand? Ooh.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
There is room, though, to talk with Alyssa Orange from the Varsity Vibe podcast because she is with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline now. Good morning, Alyssa. How are you?
Oh, good morning, guys. Doing well. A little cold up here, but I'm surviving.
So glad that, that I can hear her in my ear. It's the best thing I've heard all day. And Alyssa, this is not just because you got a great voice. All right. So you got basketball starting this week, and you got football playoffs also starting at the same time. We love crossover season. What's top of mind right now?
Yeah, so it's one of those things, like you mentioned, the high school football heating up, best time of the year with the playoffs, and then basketball, which I think a lot of people are excited about. We've talked about the talent around the state and things getting started, and, you know, everyone's really feeling good about their team and seeing where they are right now. For example, talk to the P Ridge girls head coach, Heath Neal. They opened things up with Pulaski Academy down at a Clarksville Invitational. They're really excited about what they've got to the table. They didn't lose anybody off their team. You look at the Farmington girls team, looking to try to win back-to-back state titles, and with a really talented sophomore in Easton McCullough. Of course, J.J. Andrews in Central Arkansas, Bentonville and Bentonville West boys team still good. So you're just excited for basketball season to get going, but obviously football is still front of mind for everybody right now.
I wanted to ask you. You bring up J.J. Andrews, Alyssa. You know Sean Andrews, one of my favorite humans on this planet, and got to be teammates with him. How good is J.J. Andrews?
Yeah.
Is he the number one basketball prospect in the state?
Yeah, he is, and he is talented. He's going to be a great addition to Arkansas next season, and I'll get to visit with JJ coming up on Sunday. So looking forward to that conversation with him as he gets his season started. But just a really good kid, good head on his shoulders, and a talented kid at basketball, which I know everyone's excited to see him play in a Razorback uniform next year.
All right, let's look over at playoff football this week. Tell me what games you're attending any game and
Sure.
what's on the schedule for you.
Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out exactly where I'm going to go on Friday night because there are so many great options. You look at the 7A, and of course Bentonville is going to host North Little Rock Friday at Bentonville West. You've got Fayetteville, who's hosting Pulaski Academy, obviously pitting two former Razorback football players, and Casey Dick and Anthony Lucas together for that game at Fayetteville. And then you look at Farmington, and Farmington is trying to see if they can get back to a state title game again under Coach Tommy Tice, and they host Harding Academy. And so there's some exciting games up here to choose from. Bentonville and Rogers are your teams up here that got byes, as did Greenwood. And so trying to figure out exactly where I'm going to head, which is not a bad problem to have, but it's going to be exciting, top to bottom. I think just in the 7A in general with Bryant and Conway and that matchup last week going, down to the wire in an exciting fashion, and Rogers getting the bye along with Bentonville, and both of those teams looking to see if they can make a run. And then you go to the 6A, and it's, can anyone take down Greenwood and Kane Archer and what they've been able to do down there? And then, even Elkins, who's doing really big things in the 4A and Farmington in 5A. So up here, it's exciting, and we'll see kind of what happens.
Where do you think is the stronger side in 7A, Central or West this year?
Yeah, I think it might be the West, and I promise I'm not biased. But I've had these conversations with coaches, and I've talked to the coaches up here about feeling like, is this the most talented top to bottom that the West has been in a long time? And all of the coaches agree, and even talking to Buck James with Conway. And, he's like, there's Bryant, and we're right there. And, everyone else is talented, but I don't think top to bottom, the Central was as strong as the West was. It felt like, we were getting to a point last week where if Bentonville West had won that game against Bentonville by 4 points and Rogers won, they would have won the West. They would have gotten by. It's like the situations in the West were so crazy just because of how talented and deep of a league it was this year. So I'd have to give the edge to the West. Hopefully nobody in Central Arkansas is getting mad at me for that.
What do you make of Fayetteville and Pulaski Academy? PA's kind of not been able to replicate their success this year, Fayetteville. You can say the same thing from last season, but at least they're over 500.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup, and I talked to Coach Dick yesterday, and really that adversity that they went through in that 3-game losing streak, where they lost to Texarkana, and then they lost their first conference game to West, and then they lost to Rogers, and how that kind of woke them up a little bit and got them to kind of figure out exactly who they are as a football program and turn things around. The only other loss after that was to Bentonville. And so they've kind of really gotten to figure out their identity and their roles, and they're playing, he believes, their best football right now. But they also understand that this is a Pulaski Academy team that's just not the same Pulaski Academy team that we've seen in the past. Coach Lucas told me that earlier in the season, too. We're a little different. We're going to do things differently. But Still try to be able to find success, the onside kicks instead of punting, things like that you're just going to have to be aware of. And so I think it's two very different approaches and styles going against each other. And it's really going to be about discipline in this matchup and making sure that, you can't make mental mistakes on either side of the football. And I think that that's going to come down to who can protect the football and hold on to it the longest.
Do we give Jonesboro any shot to slow down the Rogers offense in their 6A matchup?
I don't give many people a chance to slow down that offense. It's impressive, right, what Jeff Regan and those guys are doing over there. It's going to be tough, and teams have tried, and the only team who's been successful is Bentonville. So you would hope that Rogers can take care of business here in 2 weeks, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that, and they're just a really good football team, too, that's firing on all cylinders, and I know that deservingly, Bentonville is getting a lot of attention for what they've been able to accomplish in an undefeated season, as is Bryant. But watch out for Rogers, because they're just as talented, and that offense can get out of control if you let it.
You ever have the sense, too, from last year in the college football playoff, that the bye didn't really help the team that had the bye? Do you think that plays itself out in high school, too?
Yeah. I think that's a great point, and Coach Dick said that yesterday. He goes, this might sound crazy, but I'm kind of glad that we don't have a bye this week because of the way that we're playing and the momentum that we've built over the last couple of weeks. The last thing we kind of wanted was to take a break. And I like the fact that we are playing. He told me that yesterday. And so I think that's a good point. Teams like Fayetteville, that it might go in their favor. I don't necessarily see Bentonville or Rogers tripping up week one, though it's really hard to win that first game. I think the rest is a good thing for them. But at the same time, it does favor some of these teams that are getting healthy again and getting some momentum and not wanting to stall that momentum for a week before you play again.
Did cross country get their state championships in before temperatures dipped into the 30s?
They did, luckily, out there running in Hot Springs last Friday. And so the Bentonville girls and boys teams winning those state titles last week. The boys, they're ninth in a row, which is really impressive. And the girls, it was their first in 3 years. So Bentonville swept the team title. Rogers, Lily Brashears, she won her second 6A title in a row. She's headed to BYU to run next year, too. So really talented cross-country teams up here in Northwest Arkansas, too.
Aren't there a couple of kids from maybe I'm forgetting who it is, but there is a pretty good football player. I think it's at Rogers that may be going to BYU.
He's also going to BYU, too. Yeah. So Braxton Lindsay. And Braxton Lindsay's a two-way player. Yes. And so he's going to BYU. He's a part of that signing class for Kalani Sitake, or will be once signing gets here in December. But he plays both sides of the ball. Really talented on both sides. He hurt his knee a little bit and wasn't playing on defense, I think, for 2 games this year. But outside of that, he was playing on both sides. And I asked him before the season started, is that something you're going to do at BYU? And he's like, I'd like to. We've had conversations about it. I think year one, he'll just concentrate on the defensive side and then see if maybe they put some packages in him for his sophomore season. To play
you know that students and athletes there are held to a different standard. I mean, they've got a certain code of conduct that they have to adhere to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the kid who's playing quarterback for Tulane, Retzloff, was kicked out of school based for having sex, if I remember correctly. Is that something that you brought up with Lindsay? Just because I wonder, that can also be attractive, I think, for some kids to go to a school like that. Was that brought up?
I haven't talked to him about that, but I think everyone, when you do look into going to schools that have the kind of code of conduct like a school like BYU does, obviously that's a territory that comes with it, and a big part of being not only a student but a student athlete. So these kids understand that when they make these choices. But the biggest thing for Braxton, when I talked to him about BYU, he said it felt like home. It felt like a place he wanted to be for 4 years. And obviously, I'm sure that played into it a little bit, too.
There was something Madre Hill brought up yesterday, and I wanted to ask you about coaches that you're in contact with in high school, about coaches who have the ability to take the air out of the room when they walk in. Is there anybody that you can think of that kind of, fits that character that you've been in contact in high school anytime recently?
Do you mean in a good way? in a good way or a,
well, just like
a negative? What do you mean exactly? Yeah.
Just commands attention from the team that he or she is coaching.
Sure.
You walk into that room and you don't have to ask for silence for everybody to put their phone away. People just are watching you. Kind of like Tony Vitello, that kind of gravitas.
Sure. Yeah, I think that there's, a lot. I think, what pops off the top of my head, you look at a guy like Tommy Tice at Farmington and just how much he's done just for high school football in the state of Arkansas overall, from Harrison and now at Farmington. And I think he just, commands respect because of what he's been able to accomplish in his career. I think Jody Grant is getting there at Bentonville. He's been able to have a lot of success. The one thing he doesn't have is a state title as a head coach at Bentonville. But he obviously commands a lot of attention, and I've been around him even last week in when he was giving his pregame speeches, and just the way that he addresses those kids as, grown men. And it's cool to see. But it's been fun this first year to just kind of get to know these guys in general, because it's only been a couple of months that I've been able to interact with these coaches, and they've given me the time to talk with them on the show, and I've enjoyed getting to know all of them.
Run full speed through the football.
This is halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
How could I possibly be expected to handle work on a day like this? Take a day off and check out the certified pre-owned rides at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and upgrade to the road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle of your choice and get state sales tax paid. So choice. I highly recommend picking one up. Life moves pretty fast, so stop and look around at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautoportsmith.com. You're still here? The ad's over.
This is Rick Bennett, Director of Fort Smith Animal Haven. For all of our heating, air, and plumbing needs, we dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs, and great York Home products. It's just one number you need to know, 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cole Johnson with River Valley Smile Center. If you're hiding your smile because of chipped, stained, or uneven teeth, or you feel like your smile doesn't reflect how you feel inside, our dental team is here to help. We offer a variety of cosmetic and restorative dental services, from custom veneers to full mouth rehabilitation. We take pride in combining clinical precision with an artistic eye to help you feel confident and comfortable every step of the way. It's time to love your smile again. Call 479-646-0706 or visit rivervalleysmiles.com to set up your consultation. Let's create the smile you've always wanted.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, late night, real dance, swishing down her drinks. She's born in a wild card. She was telling me wild things. She was telling me wild things. Street past 7-Eleven. You know, so spend the night. She grabbed my hand at the intersection. I spilled my guts at the red light.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Happy to bring on Dr. Jeff Root to halftime here. He's the Dean of the Ouachita Baptist School of Humanities. He's a professor, longtime play-by-play broadcaster for Arkadelphia High School. And has been, how long you been on the Ouachita football broadcasts, Jeff?
I joined Rex Nelson. He was on play-by-play. I joined him on color when we were both in college, but about 1980.
It's a labor of love for sure. Man, Arkadelphia and these two schools have been in the spotlight over the last week in ways that I can't quite remember. Obviously disappointing that ESPN College Game Day won't be here, but what has the last week been like? And then what's kind of like the mood around town and around campus, knowing that it didn't happen this year, but it still may happen in the future?
Well, you know, folks kind of got their hopes up a little bit, but at the same time, everybody realized that the attention we're getting even before the announcement is worth a lot to both universities and to the town of Arkadelphia. So it's been overall a very, very positive thing. And I think it does kind of put us on the radar. So perhaps at some point it will happen in the future. The 100th game is 2 years from now. But you don't really know from year to year how much of a chance you have because it depends on things out of our control. It depends on who else is playing, whether or not they might make the playoffs, and whether or not the game day folks have been to that campus recently.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of odd that, this wouldn't have been out there had Reese Davis not just had a slip up where he talks about, I may get in trouble for saying it, but he's trying to push the Battle of the Ravine. But you guys did have conversations with the folks at Game Day, right?
For years now, there has been some contact. And Chris Babb, as he set up the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, part of our communications department at Ouachita, the athletic administration, our president through the years, there's been an effort through the years to kind of get their attention. This was the first time that we knew that we would be seriously considered. And so that really put us on a different plane. And at the same time that we knew there was a reason for them to come and that they were interested, we also knew it would be an uphill battle because it would be a first. So, to go to Amherst in Division III, well, that's a little bit different story. They're playing Williams College, the oldest liberal arts college in America. There are reasons to see that on the East Coast. To come to Arkadelphia was a different kind of scenario, but one that I think they took very seriously.
But is it also a feeling of, that I'm from Pittsburgh, right? Yeah. McAfee's from Pittsburgh.
Right.
Right. It's a big game, obviously, that they're going to cover. But was it also a feeling of the changes in college football and how it's becoming, I don't know if corporate's the right idea, but it is becoming more corporate. You throw more
Right.
money into the thing, it's going to become more corporate. Division II football still has that feel of what college football and college sports overall used to feel like. Did you feel like that was kind of part of the tension of this?
I think so. I mean, when you think about the fact that we have a graduation percentage of our Ouachita football team that's higher than the student body itself. I mean, it's a pretty amazing thing. They come and they stay, basically, and they graduate. Todd Knight has a wonderful system of support academically and otherwise. And so that kind of system in a variety of places creates some stability. And the fact that we're not marketable on a national stage also creates some stability. So we've got really fine athletes. Some of them might have started in Division I and have come to us. Many of them started out as not Division I prospects, but could be good enough to play. I'll give you an example. We had starting tackles for a number of years. They were coming from Little Rock, but they were 6'4" and 220 pounds in high school, and they were not recruited for Division I. They came here, they redshirted, they start playing when they're 6'4" and 280 pounds. By the time they are All-Americans at Ouachita, they're 6'4", 300 pounds. They're both physics majors. One of them graduates on time. The other decides to stay a fifth year and play through his eligibility. The one that left has a year of eligibility left. He goes to Rice and starts for them. So there are some really quality players in Division II, but most of them know that they're playing for the joy of the game and for their university, and because it helps them pay for school, because we're a Division II, we have scholarships. And so with that opportunity, that's a different scenario than just preparing for the NFL. And we have a few players every now and then they're going to make the NFL. A lot of division teams have a few examples of that. But for the most part, that's not why they're on the field.
You know, you think of conferences and all the schools that are within a conference are partners with each other, business partners. And so all of their health and their athletic department's health, it does mean something for the strength of the conference. What does, now I know Henderson State has been in some pretty dire financial situations a year ago, 2 years ago, and hopefully they're on their way back. They're part of Arkansas State now, right?
Yes.
So how important is it for these two schools to be strong for each other? Like, what does it mean for Ouachita, for Henderson to be a strong institution and vice versa?
It's vitally important for both schools because we cooperate academically while we play each other as high rivals in multiple sports, football being the most noticeable one. But in multiple sports, there's quite a rivalry. Our volleyball teams will play against each other tomorrow night. So there's a lot of rivalry athletically, but academically, our card catalogs in the library have for decades been both, and you can look up the Henderson Library and the Ouachita Library. We can have a lot of cooperation between our education schools because they have the same goal, to make people teachers, right? So a lot of academic cooperation goes on, and in the town of Arkadelphia itself, it's just vital that both schools be healthy simply because they are the major industries in Arkadelphia.
So one of my favorite things to do when I did Henderson games is to drive to Arkadelphia the week of the Battle of the Ravine and just walk around campus. Where's all the Viz Queen? I didn't see any Viz Queen up protecting anything around some of the fountains and everything. That was the thing that always stood out, is that every sign used to be protected. I don't know if I see that right now.
Yeah, we're not seeing it right now because we've gone through a number of years in which the students have decided to celebrate the rivalry in ways that didn't involve vandalism, which has been a really good thing. If you go back far enough in the 1950s, the two schools actually had to stop playing each other for a while because it got to be kind of physical at times. And so for about a decade, that's why we're going to play our 100th game against Henderson 2 years from now, but we've actually played them for, I think, closer to 110 years, but not consecutively because they had to stop for a little while. But that was many years ago. Today, it's a much more, I wouldn't say cordial, especially on game day. It is highly intense. The players know each other. The players are really intent on winning that game, and you can sense that intensity, and you sense it in the town also because you'll have half the town on one side and half the town on the other side. And yet tomorrow morning they're going to go to church together, or tomorrow morning they're going to go have coffee together. It's a well-controlled thing where the rage is kind of there for a little while, and then it evaporates soon enough.
It percolates under the surface.
There you go.
For about 364 days a year, and then it doesn't. Then it's above the surface there. But I mean, if you think Alabama and Auburn is something, or Mississippi State and Ole Miss, they don't have anything on the Battle of the Ravine.
It really, to me, is all about the intensity. I mean, we're not going to have as many players on the field go to the NFL as the Alabama-Auburn game. But I don't know how you can be much more intense than you see the players and the fans at a Ouachita-Henderson contest. Part of it is the tradition. Part of it is because families are sometimes both Ouachita and Henderson families. One great example of that is the chancellor at Henderson, who's already made such a great difference in helping that school recover from some difficult times. Trey Berry is his name. He and I graduated from high school together here in Arkadelphia. He's a Ouachita grad. He taught in the history department at Ouachita, but he's the chancellor at Henderson. His father, the baseball field at Henderson, is named for him. His father, Clyde Berry, longtime coach at Henderson. His mother, emeritus faculty member in art at Ouachita. So here's a guy who grew up literally on both campuses, and yet he'll choose to sit on the red side during the game.
That's funny.
Jeff, I got a question. It's Clay. What's the best, coolest, most clever prank? I mean, I don't want to hear about, okay, the Henderson guys painted a wall red or something like that. I mean, at UCA, when we played Arkansas Tech, they would come and paint our bear in front of the Arkansas Hall. They would come paint it green and gold. That's not clever. What's something you thought, oh, those guys, those kids, they were clever?
Well, I mean, the one that I always go to, Clay, I'm sure you've heard about this, but the one I always go to is the fact that Henderson, unlike Ouachita, has an aviation program. And so they filled up a couple of airplanes with red and white marshmallows and then dropped them on our campus. It was raining red and white marshmallows one day. And, you know, that is clever and it's not harmful, but it is clever. Probably, it may have been criminal in some sense. I don't know that you can really do that if you are training people to be pilots, but still, it was a great prank and it didn't harm anything, which is a nice way to celebrate. Some of the traditions, though, like at Ouachita, we see tents right now out by the statue of the tiger. Well, that's a long-standing tradition. Henderson no longer comes over to get paint on the tiger. I don't think they'd be welcome if they did that, and nobody tries to do that. But we still guard the tiger. It's become a Ouachita tradition. The freshmen have a night, the sophomores have a night, and vice versa. They go all night long guarding the tiger. They're a little bit sleepy in class the next day, but that's a tradition.
It's understood, yeah.
Yeah, that's a tradition that I took part in when I was a student, and now they do. So
we didn't guard.
This is a special week for so many traditions on both campuses.
So I'll just end on this. You want to talk about intensity. I don't know if I've experienced such intensity as the first time I ever did a Battle of the Ravine, and I called 7 of them, and this is before you guys renovated the stadium.
Yes.
And the old press box, which was, I mean, that really wasn't wood that the walls were made of. I think it was made out of paper that sort of felt like wood. And with every single touchdown, and we had a lot of touchdowns in that game. It was back and forth and went in overtime, I think, if you
absolutely,
remember.
Absolutely. Heartbreaker.
Your radio partner, Rex Nelson, who is as good as gold, would pound on the wall with every touchdown. And my radio partner, RJ Hawk, did the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought the two of them were going to end up breaking the wall down by the time we got into the fourth quarter. That was intensity times 50.
Listen, Phil, for years, I made sure that I would sit on his left 2-day games because he's right-handed. And if you sat to his right, he'd hit you during the game. Either a really good play or a really bad play, he would hit you during the game. So recently he's mellowed some, you know, not necessarily on the touchdown calls, but he's mellowed for the most part. He doesn't hit as often. But a couple of games ago, we weren't sure how it was going to go. It was SAU. SAU's good. We're improving. And then suddenly we were winning the game by quite a lot. And I just stopped the broadcast at one point. And I said, I've got to say, the Tigers are ready to play in this game, and Rex is ready because he's hit me 3 times already in this game because he gets so excited. And it's as much fun to sit by him and call a game as you can imagine that it would be because nobody's into it in a more emotional way than Rex.
The sport's much different now. College football, Division I. Does it still feel as the same sport in Division II? Even like 10 years ago or 20 years ago?
It feels the same in terms of the students are actually here to stay and get a diploma from Ouachita. That feels the same. The talent level is higher. I suppose in part because Todd Knight does a great job of recruiting, and also because I can't help but feel like the portal is pushing out some opportunities for high school kids who are finding a home at a Division II school and might have had a chance to go to Division I if things were different in Division I. That may be true, but I certainly feel like the talent level in Division II much higher than when Rex and I started doing games in NAIA. but definitely it has hit a high note here. Harding's got a lot of talent. Henderson's got a lot of talent. SAU's really strong. Ouachita is strong. And some of the other teams, including Oklahoma teams, are getting better too. So I feel like the quality of the game itself that we're watching is really strong.
All right, let's leave it there. I know the game will be great because the Battle of the Ravine is always an entertaining game, no matter who comes out in the end. You know who I'll be rooting for, but I know it'll be a great game, Jeff. Thanks for your time.
We will get our football program back to a place that everyone across this state will be proud to say that they're an Arkansas Razorback.
This is halftime.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Spooked by the thought of a custody battle with your ex? Get the chills thinking about high hourly billing from another lawyer? Don't hide in the dark. Call me, Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Divorce and custody can be scary. You need an attorney who can help at a price you can afford. At Mock Legal Solutions, we offer flat fees and payment plans. Call today. The first consultation is always free. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
The nation's best home court advantage lives inside Bud Walton Arena. The Razorbacks are back inside the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, and Coach Calipari and the Hogs need you there and need you loud all season long. A limited number of single-game tickets are available right now. Just head over to ArkansasRazorbacks.com and purchase yours today.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this and a drink for $10.29. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Arklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteArklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Woo! Pig Suey! Man, you think we can hear a Woo Pig Suey call down in Baton Rouge on Saturday sometime? Wouldn't that be cool? Have we heard one all year?
Well, I've heard plenty of them, but it's usually like when we're ahead
and before all the the chaos ensues. So,
how do you see it going? What do we see? Arkansas, LSU. Give me a score, unit.
I am not much of a believer that LSU will be like 100% ready to go in this game, but I do think Arkansas, if they're not turning the ball over and giving LSU short fields, because regardless if Nussmeier or Van Buren starts, they're going to be plenty capable of moving the football, maybe even more capable with Van Buren, his mobility and all that. So I think Arkansas will be in this game. I think the offense will be able to move the ball against LSU's defense. I see it being another type game in the 30s, and Arkansas is going to have a shot. Now, it's either going to be up to their offense or their defense. But, until Arkansas can prove they can get a win, it's hard for me to pick them. So I'll probably go with LSU in a close one. Very close game.
I like it. You heard it from the unit. For Phil Elson, for all of our guests today, everybody have a wonderful weekend. Happy Friday. Stay safe, stay warm, and enjoy sport this weekend. See you around.